I don't always fart when I go in Burger King, but when I do, it's a Whopper. That one was from Lee TV, and don't forget, comment your jokes down below. Right, so hello again everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Chromecast with the built-in Google TV. Now I've been using this as my main family device for the past week just to see how it performs and how it works. And in this video I'll be telling you about my experience with it and is it really worth buying. Right, so that being said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's crack on. Right, so don't forget, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you already own the Chromecast, let me know what your experience has been like with it. Right, so there's already loads of different reviews of the Chromecast showing you the unboxings, the different basic features and things. So this is going to be more of how I'd use it as a streamer and if it's really suited for me. But as you can see, we have got the Chromecast. It looks very similar to the previous releases. It is powered by USB-C. And then we've got the remote. Now the remote, I don't really like. I'll tell you why in a moment. But as we can see, it's got the directional pad, and then you've got the back button, voice search, home, mute, dedicated YouTube and Netflix buttons, and then at the bottom you can see you've got a power and an input button. Now these two are for your TV and not the actual Chromecast. Now I did find that the power button did work, it powered on and off my TV, but the input button, that didn't work. On the right hand side you've got volume up and down, and that's the feature I do like about this remote. But the things I don't like is it is small. Now this may not be something that affects you personally, but for me it is really small. And then the other thing which is a major gripe for me is the directional pad, so the up, down, left, right, the select button in the middle is slightly cupped. And I have found when I'm navigating around, just looking around and browsing, I have been clicking on things that I didn't intend to. Now this is something that did get annoying pretty fast as well. So now let's jump over and take a look at how Google TV looks. So this is Google TV, it's built on Android TV, but it does have a very similar feel to Amazon devices like the Fire TV Stick. As you can see at the top you've got a few different options which we'll show you in a moment. If we go down one, we've got some paid placements. So these are companies that are paying Google to get into these sponsored placements, and it's not actually content that's recommended to you. Something that we have seen previously from Amazon devices. If we go down again, you've got top picks, and this is including all the subscriptions I've already linked up, like Netflix, Prime Video, iPlayer, ITV Hub. If I do click on something, you can watch it now on Prime Video. You've got seasons, you can add it to a watch list, you can look at the other ways to watch this content. So if I click on it, I can watch it on Prime Video or I can buy it from Google TV. You can click on watched it, but also if you don't want to see this kind of content recommended, you can click on the thumbs down and it'll stop suggesting this kind of content. If we go down, you see you've got your apps. Now this is something I really don't like. The apps look really small in comparison to the thumbnails on the suggested content, and it kinda looks like it's hidden away. I'd prefer to see the apps at the top of the list rather than buried in the middle. You do have a bit of freedom with customization. You can long hold and then move, and then you can move the apps around to how you'd like them. And then any apps that you don't see on the home page, usually at the end you would see it say see all apps. But at the moment I'm not seeing that and I don't know why. Maybe because I've already got all my apps on the home page. If I go down again, this is something I really don't like about Google TV. And it is aimed purely at streaming, I understand that. But I've got Netflix on there, I've got Prime Video, but then I've also got content that's suggested for purchase. Now this is the content that's available for purchase from Google TV, but as you can see, it does take up quite a lot of this suggested content. This is $1.99, $3.49, you've got content, you've got purchase there, purchase. And one thing that Google TV or Google have done that I really don't like, if I go right to the bottom, get better recommendations, and you can see you can turn off Prime Video, Disney Plus and Netflix. If you turn these off, it'll stop recommending content from these apps on the homepage. But I can't turn off recommendations from Google TV, meaning it's always going to be showing me content that's available for purchase which I don't want to see. And then if I keep going in the homepage, you can see there's loads of recommended or suggested content in there. And then once again, buried away in the middle, we've got recommended videos on YouTube. And then once again, there's no way of turning that recommended search off. If I go all the way to the top, you've got a search on the left-hand side there. But if I go across to movies, it's pretty much the same as the homepage, but just showing you movies. And once again, we've got that recommended purchased content in there. So $4.49, $4.49, $4.49, $4.99. There's look at it all. And I've got no way of turning that off inside of this recommended or suggested content. If I go across, you've got shows, exactly the same again. Only thing is, the movies and shows are separated. The For You includes everything. You've got apps, which I prefer to see this as the home page, because when I come on a device, I already know which app that I want to use. And I do think it'd look a lot cleaner. But then again, I do suppose that these paid placements are worth it for Google. And as you can see at the end, you've got a library there for what you add to your watch list and things. I've not added anything at the moment. Now, if I get rid of me at the top corner, if we go up to the top right and go into settings, looks pretty similar to what we're used to seeing inside of Google certified devices. We've got apps, display and sound, got privacy. One thing that you do want to look inside of is system. And if we go into system and down to storage, although this device does have 2 GB of RAM, which is really impressive, it only has 4.5 GB of internal storage. Now, if you're somebody that likes a streaming device where you can add your own apps and your third-party apps, obviously it's not going to take many apps before that starts filling up. So it is something worth bearing in mind. You can add external storage. You will have to buy a USB hub, and then this will allow you to plug in a USB flash drive, and you can use the external storage, but you can also set it as internal storage. Another thing a lot of people like to do, including myself, is add in third-party apps, so being able to install apps from Downloader and File Links and places like that. And I'm just going to mention it in this video in case you do get one and then you start thinking, well, why isn't this working? If we go to settings, once again in the top right-hand corner, we're going to go down to System and down to About, and then all the way to the bottom, you're going to see the Android TV build. You've actually got to click on this 7 times, and then it'll say you are now a developer. You need to enable the developer mode to be able to allow unknown sources. This is something that a lot of people have been struggling with, so I thought it was worth mentioning in this video. And then once you've enabled the developer mode, you see you get developer options, which you don't usually see, and then you've got the ability to change the different settings inside here. Now, if you're somebody that likes using a separate remote, I personally like the WeChip remotes. I was able to plug in the dongle by using the USB hub, but one thing worth noting is when I click on the mouse, it's not as responsive as you'd like. It is a bit laggy. Well, not laggy, it's just a bit behind. And another thing is the back button doesn't work. So that is one thing worth noting if you do like to use those kinds of remotes. Another thing, if you've got a Firestick lying around and you prefer the Firestick remote, you can pair the Firestick remote to the Google TV or the Chromecast and use all the functions on the Firestick remote and get rid of this one. I did find when I'm opening up different apps like Netflix, see, I've just clicked down instead of enter then. It does me head in. I did find that navigating around apps like this, it's very smooth and it is easy to use. Another thing that I did notice though is when I connect to a VPN. So now I'm connected to IPVanish currently, and then I'm going to go into the settings and just fumble about with it a second. And then as you can see, now we've lost the For You, the movies and TV shows sections. We've now got a home, apps and library. And this is something that I personally prefer. I don't know why they didn't have this as the home from the start. And as you can see, we also get rid of the sponsored placements at the top. We have still got some suggested content, but nowhere near as much as before. So using a VPN has actually cleaned that up for me a little bit. Now, if you're looking at getting a VPN, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But if you already use one, which I'm guessing you do if you're a streamer, that could be something worth doing. So now I've disconnected from the VPN. When I go back home, I've got all the different categories I had before. And if you don't want to see all of this content and it's just getting too much, we can go back into settings. And then if we go into account, you can see we've got an apps only mode. If I turn this on, click on continue, then go back home, you're going to see it only shows apps and that's it. You've still got your paid placements at the top, but it's also got rid of the search and the different categories we saw before. And another thing worth noting as well, in apps only mode, the voice search doesn't seem to work. Look, sorry I am not available in this profile yet. So although you can change some things, you do lose some features when changing them. But yeah, that's really how I've been using the device, the different things that I have found. I found that connecting to a VPN actually made it look better. The things I didn't like is just, it's mainly the purchase content that it keeps showing me in the recommended section. With this being on the home page, I suppose it could get on your tits. And it did get on mine, and then the family, so the wife and kids, actually made me switch back to the Fire TV Cube. I found that the voice search wasn't as reliable, although I don't talk the best anyway. And I personally don't like the remote. But you've got to think it's an affordable device with not Android TV, it's got Google TV, but it's fully Google certified. A Google certified device for the price of the Chromecast is very hard to find. You've got the Xiaomi Mi TV Stick and the Xiaomi Mi Box S, but they don't perform anywhere near as good as the Chromecast. So if you don't like the Amazon layout and things, and you prefer that I've just shown you with Google TV, this device is definitely something worth looking at. But I think for me, the family are just that used to using Amazon devices, they just wanted to switch back for the ease of use. So, at some point I will be giving this away. What do you think? So yeah, they're the things I don't like about it, but it's also got some great positives. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. I'm always interested to see those, and I will be down there myself replying to you. And that was a long ass video, weren't it? And I do apologise, I just wanted to cover everything from a streamer's point of view. Right, so that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you soon. Ta-da! I don't always fart when I go in Burger King. Burger King. Right then, so hello again everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Chromecast with the built-in Google. But as you can see, we have got the Chromecast. It looks... I'd prefer to see the apps the size of the thumbnails, but...